Trump administration slammed for removing court-appointed U.S. attorney. In a bold move that has stirred significant controversy, New Jersey's Democratic Senators Cory Booker and Andy Kim have publicly criticized the Trump administration for its failure to honor a court's directive regarding the appointment of Alina Habba's successor as the interim U.S. attorney for the state. This situation has raised eyebrows and ignited discussions about the integrity of judicial appointments and the rule of law. The U.S. District Court for the District of New Jersey had designated Desiree Leigh Grace, who served as Habba's first assistant, to take over the role once Habba's temporary 120-day term concluded. However, in a surprising turn of events, the Justice Department, DOJ, announced on Tuesday that Grace was removed from her position, leading to further scrutiny of the administration's actions. In a statement, Senators Booker and Kim expressed their discontent, stating, "Trump's Department of Justice is once again criticizing a court that acted within its authority, continuing a pattern of publicly undermining judicial decisions and showing disregard for the rule of law and the separation of powers." This statement underscores a growing concern about the administration's respect for judicial independence. They further emphasized that the dismissal of a career public servant, who was lawfully appointed by the court, represents a blatant attempt to intimidate those who oppose the administration and to undermine the independence of the judiciary. This administration may not like the law, but they are not above it, they asserted, highlighting the tension between the executive branch and the judiciary. In response, DOJ officials have accused the Democratic senators of conspiring to remove Habba, who had not received confirmation from judges for a permanent position. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche took to the social media platform X to assert, "They forced out President Trump's pick, at U.S. Attorney Habba, then installed her deputy, colluding with the NJ senators along the way. It won't work." He further stated, "Pursuant to the president's authority, we have removed that deputy, effective immediately. This backroom vote will not override the authority of the chief executive." Attorney General Pam Bondi added fuel to the fire by claiming that politically minded judges refused to allow her to continue in her position, suggesting a partisan influence in the judicial process. Habba herself faced significant backlash after she brought charges against Newark Mayor Ras Baraka and Representative LaMonica McIver, which stemmed from an incident at a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility. Both Baraka and McIver denied the allegations, and the charges against Baraka were eventually dropped. In a further twist, Baraka has filed a lawsuit against Habba for damages related to his arrest, indicating the contentious nature of this case. A federal judge remarked that the arrest of the New Jersey mayor indicated a worrisome misstep by Habba's office, pointing out the apparent rush in pursuing the case, which ultimately led to the government retracting the charge in what was described as an embarrassing situation. In light of these developments, Senators Booker and Kim reiterated their belief that the people of New Jersey deserve a U.S. attorney who will enforce the law impartially and seek justice without the influence of partisanship. They voiced their concerns following Habba's unsuccessful bid to remain as the state's top federal prosecutor, emphasizing the need for integrity in such crucial positions. This unfolding drama raises important questions about the balance of power between the branches of government and the implications of political influence on judicial appointments. What are your thoughts on this situation? Do you believe that the administration's actions are justified, or do they undermine the rule of law? Share your opinions in the comments below. Pam Bondi intervenes to save Alina Habba's job amid federal judge's move. Justice Department clashes with New Jersey judges to protect Habba's position. Photo, Andrew Harnick/Getty Images. The Department of Justice has launched a confrontation with federal judges in New Jersey who attempted to remove Alina Habba from her position as chief prosecutor immediately after her term concluded. On Tuesday, following reports that the president's former personal lawyer would be succeeded by her principal deputy, Attorney General Pam Bondi revealed that the department had stepped in to defend Habba and terminated her designated replacement. This Department of Justice will not stand for renegade judges, particularly when they challenge the president's fundamental Article 2 powers, Bondi declared in an official statement. Taking aim at politically motivated judges, who declined to maintain Habba in her role, Bondi avoided mentioning Habba's successor, Desiree Leigh Grace, by name, instead referring to her simply as the first assistant. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, another former Trump defense lawyer, reinforced his superior's announcement, emphasizing that Habba's competitor had been dismissed, in accordance with the president's authority. But here's where it gets complicated. the Attorney General lacks the legal authority to dismiss a U.S. attorney appointed by federal judges, though the president possesses this power. However, unless Trump formally intervenes to remove Habba's replacement, Grace remains scheduled to assume Habba's responsibilities this Saturday. Habba, who received a temporary appointment last spring, was nominated by Trump for a complete 4-year term, but her confirmation has been delayed in the Republican-controlled Senate. Temporary U.S. attorneys can only serve for 120 days unless they receive confirmation before that period expires or district court judges vote to extend their tenure. In this situation, the judges decided against retaining Habba and instead selected Grace, a prosecutor with 9 years of career experience. This decision came despite Trump apparently instructing his deputy attorney general to exert influence on New Jersey's chief federal judge to maintain Habba in her position last week. Nevertheless, Judge Renee Marie Bum proceeded to draft the order for Habba's replacement. And this is the part most people miss. Habba, whose legal career began representing a parking garage business, secured her appointment despite having zero prosecutorial experience. Perhaps unsurprisingly, her leadership at the U.S. Attorney's Office reportedly alienated so many prosecutors that numerous staff members were seeking exits. She made no attempt to conceal her use of the office to advance Trump's political agenda, prompting a reprimand from a federal judge in one high-profile case involving trespassing charges that were filed and swiftly abandoned against Newark's Democratic Mayor Ras Baraka regarding an IC protest. Furthermore, Habba faces a potential ethics investigation concerning allegations she utilized her position to target Trump's adversaries. While Trump has yet to publicly address the fate of the prosecutor chosen over Habba, the White House issued a statement suggesting he remained optimistic that the Senate would eventually confirm Habba. Aware that her tenure was nearing its conclusion last week, Habba reportedly told staff, "I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm grateful for my time. This is an amazing office, and I hope I can stay." What do you think about this power struggle between the DOJ and federal judges? Is this a legitimate exercise of executive authority or an overreach that threatens judicial independence? Trump's name is in the Epstein files multiple times, report. Is Trump in the Epstein files? All about their friendship. Has Trump won the war over the Epstein files? See all. Bondi tries to save Alina Habba's job.